Hey everybody, it's your coach Daphne here, and I'm putting together this video as a brief introduction of who I am. Here it is, the beginning of May, so we're almost halfway through the year, and so many exciting things have been happening just in my personal life, my business life, etc. And I was on a call this week talking with one of my accountability partners, and we were just talking about communication and earning people's trust and how we get messages out, etc. So we thought we'd put together a short videos just telling everyone who we are and a little bit about our story. Only because so many of you might follow me on, Facebook or Instagram or other social media sites, and you just kind of see what's going on with Daphne now and not everything that led up to that. So if you're interested, here we go. I started off, actually, I'll go back even before my Beachbody days. When I would go to the gym, it would be very sporadic, meaning I was one of those people that when it came to fitness, I would just do it when I felt like it. So anytime I moved to a new house, my husband at the time was my boyfriend, obviously, for many years. So anytime we would move around, we would find the gym in that local area, and that would be our fresh start. So we would find the gym, next to the new house that we were renting out, going, this is it. This is the gym we're going to start going to. We would go, I would say maybe a month. I mean, it probably wasn't even any longer than that. And then we would quit. And then it would just fall to the wayside. We'd get back into our old ways. I never had an issue with being, quote, overweight. Naturally, I've always been on the thinner side. I want to say I've always been skinny, but I haven't always been healthy. And you've probably heard the term skinny fat, where I would literally go through a McDonald's drive-thru, get a combo meal. This is going to sound really bad. Get the 2 cheeseburger combo meal and add the extra chicken sandwich. So literally I was having 3 sandwiches, fries, and a Coke for lunch. That would not be uncommon for me to do at all. And I did that for many years. I mean, that would be a typical lunch for me, right? So again, when I got started into Beachbody, I thought that this would be very similar, meaning in the back of my mind, I was going to start and then I was going to stop it, because my husband didn't even want me to get started, because he said, this is going to be like everything else, you're just going to quit. And had he not said that to me, I probably never would have got started, because if I wouldn't have heard that negative kind of criticism come through, I wouldn't have been motivated like I was to start. I probably would have talked myself out of even getting started altogether. So I guess in a way, I partially have my husband's negative attitude at the time to thank for me getting started with my Beachbody journey, because in the back of my mind, when I heard that, I got the, I'll prove to you, right? Because no one likes to be proven wrong. So I'm going to prove myself right and prove him wrong, that I was going to stick to it. But deep down, I knew that he was right. I knew that I was going to get started, and I probably wasn't even going to do these workouts for more than a week or so. This shake that literally the first time I drank, I wanted to, I spit out over the sink, and I can't believe that I'm literally addicted to this and have drank it for 5 years straight now. But so that's kind of how I got started. I reached out to a friend. Actually, my friend reached out to me. I had a baby, and then she had a baby. Our babies are 2 months apart. Mine's older. So in my mind, I mean, if you look at, timeline of events, shouldn't the person that had a baby first start losing the weight first? Well, I guess if that person actually took action, which I did not, and she did. So when she reached out to me, her son was 5 months old at the time. My daughter was 7. And she was having these great results doing Shakeology and TurboFire. And I was like, girlfriend, Shakeology is too expensive, and I don't want to buy TurboFire. So I bought a 3-day cleanse kit, and I'm embarrassed to say, a burnt copy of TurboFire. I did. And to this day, honestly, I have gone out and actually purchased the real TurboFire program after becoming a coach, because I felt so guilty. And when I first got started as a coach, the amount of people that reached out to me and was actually asking me to burn DVDs for them or borrow my DVDs, it opened my eyes. So I don't promote that, and I'm just sharing what I did in the very beginning. So here I did this 3-day cleanse in TurboFire. I started 5 years ago. I lost 8 pounds in my first 3 days. I started on a Monday. Thursday morning I woke up, I was 8 pounds lighter. I was crying because I felt so good. Again, my daughter was 7 months old. I had postpartum depression with my first daughter. It subsided on its own. I didn't do therapy. I didn't do any medication. So I thought when my second daughter was born and it came back in full force that it would be the same. It would just go away on its own. Well, it didn't go away on its own. So I went to my doctor one day. I called my doctor literally in tears because in the middle of me trying to, I was doing something with my baby. And at the time, my other daughter was 5 years old. And she walks in, or 4 years old. And she walks in, and I don't even know what triggered it, but I was so mad at her that I was literally taking her shirt off, like almost wishing I'd break her neck when I was like ripping her shirt off. I mean, you're probably going to sound bad and report me to child services, but that's what postpartum does for you. You're not thinking straight as a parent. You're running on just, hours of no sleep and no real nutrition or just exercise. I was a walking dead zombie at that time. And right when I took my daughter's shirt off, I didn't hurt her, thankfully, but I called my doctor crying, going, I need help. I went to my doctor the next day. She would not give me any medication. She said that I needed therapy. And I basically wanted to give her the finger because I'm like, listen, you don't have kids on your own. You don't understand what it's like to have this depression. I did not think that it was anything that therapy could help me for or help me with. Thankfully, within a week, within that same week is when my girlfriend reached out and was telling me about Shakeology and TurboFire and all this stuff. So when I say I woke up on my fourth day on that Thursday crying from feeling so good, it's because my postpartum had subsided. It literally 3 days of drinking Shakeology and exercising, I felt like a whole new me. I had energy. I wasn't tired when I would get on the floor and play with my kids on the ground. I could run up my stairs without running out of breath. I was still pretty skinny after having my baby. Yeah, I had the extra baby weight, but I didn't think in my mind that I was overweight. So why did I just have no energy? Why couldn't I had no strength. I just wasn't happy. Just things weren't going well, let's say. So when I started crying on that Thursday from feeling so good, my husband was concerned. He's like, wait a minute, you just went from crying because you felt so crappy with this postpartum depression, but now you're telling me that you're crying because you feel good? And it's true. And to this day, sometimes when I tell the story, which I can't believe I'm even holding it in now, I still cry to this day because I remember how I felt was so different from the day before. From that Wednesday to Thursday, that difference of just going through depression, it was almost like just being in the worst possible state of your life, and then one day waking up with just everyone in your family alive, and you just won the lottery, and just every pet that you'd ever lost had come back. And I can't even explain the feeling of just how amazing that I felt. So I decided at that point that I was going to sign up as a discount coach. I still thought that our products were costly, but I knew how great that I felt. I had just lost 8 pounds, so I thought, I don't want to quit this. I want to keep this going. When before, again, like I mentioned, I usually quit everything. But when you start feeling good and looking good and seeing results, that is all the motivation you need to keep on going. So I signed up as a discount coach. I was on the phone with my girlfriend, so she obviously couldn't see what I was doing, but I had the phone in one hand, and I went, but I am not working this business. Seriously, remember that the whole hand in the face. I am not doing that. This was 5 years ago when that was popular. So that's what I was doing to her. I was doing the whole air hand. I'm not working this business. And I didn't for a long time. I was just a kind of a discount coach. I was promoting what I was doing, but I'm just a social person anyways. I'll tell you all about my hair extensions when I go get hair extensions. So why wouldn't I tell you about a new, shake or weight loss program that I was doing? So naturally, just from sharing what I was doing on Facebook, my business started to grow. I was signing up coaches. I was advancing in rank. I was earning commission checks. Commission checks on what I was selling, but then also the people that I was recruiting were actually working the business and sharing what they were doing as well. So then I started getting a team bonus. I thought, this is pretty cool. Well, it wasn't too long into the business. And when I say too long, mind you, I didn't start really working it for a while. So give it about 6 months or more. I woke up one morning on a Thursday when we get paid, and my commission for the week was a little over $400. And now, remind you, when I started this, my husband said I was going to quit. Well, he obviously saw that I wasn't quitting. So he said, okay, if you're going to do this, and you're going to take time out of, the family and the house and all that stuff, because I'm a stay-at-home mom, he goes, it'd be nice if maybe you could pay, the cell phone bill. Maybe pull in a couple $100 a month. If that, totally cool. If it works, whatever. There was never any pressure. So you can imagine when I earned $400 for a week, He came flying down the stairs going, "You can pay your car payment this month." Granted, my husband does very well. I didn't need to pay the cell phone bill. I didn't need to pay my car payment. But any extra relief or help that I could give him, anything that wasn't taking out of our family finances that I could help and support, it was just a huge relief for both of us. It made me feel good. Like, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was pulling around my weight with the household and the kid stuff, but now I was still pulling around my weight in the financial area as well, because I've always worked. I've never not worked. Even if I was, in between jobs because we were moving or whatever, I was always looking for a job, always keeping busy, etc. 1 second, please. Dale, shh. Sorry, there's my little 5-year-old. They used to be 7 months old when I got started. So anyways, here we are. And I'm just this hobby discount coach, right? And then all of a sudden I'm earning this money per week. And the next thing I know, my team is expanding. And it's just been this amazing journey. I've earned these all expense paid trips for the last 5 years. Our family, either me or my husband or the family, we decide each year what we're going to do. We've gone to Cancun, Disney World, 2 cruises. I even earned a trip to the Bahamas my very first year without even trying, and I didn't go because it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting to win a free trip to the Bahamas. So when I earned this message saying, "Hey, you want a trip to go next month?" and I'm like, "Oh, next month? Like, I don't have my passport and everything even already." So obviously I skipped it over. I still wasn't in that business mode, so it was kind of one of those like, wow, I earned it sort of things, but I'm still not doing this whole Beachbody thing. So why would I want to go on a trip with all these Beachbody people? So anyways, let's fast forward 5 years. Here we are, 5 years into being a coach. Our team, our downline team that started with just me, because my coach, my friend that signed me up, she decided after just a couple of months that she was going to leave the business and go another direction. So I was kind of left all on my own for the longest time. I relied on the support of my team members, and then cross-line coaches as well. And it wasn't until a couple years into the business that I actually found who kind of our upline support was. And fortunately, we've been able to plug in to all the tools and the resources that the whole upline offers, not just the one person, but the whole upline, which has been amazing. But our team has now grown to over 2,600. We're almost reaching 2,700 coaches. We have multiple coaches on our team, including myself, who are earning over 6 figures now. Remember, it started off just not wanting to work the business. I am not working this business. I work a couple of days or a couple of hours a day, 4.5 days a week. I usually take Friday afternoons off. I'll just get, the bare minimum done on Fridays just to check into my groups and things like that. But I'm 100% present in the lives of my family. I volunteer at the kids' school. I go on all the field trips. It's not one of those things where when my kids get home from school, I'm too tired to take them to the park or do homework with them. It's like, that's just when my day gets started. Because I've gotten all my work done, in my couple hours in the morning. Yeah, I take a little time at night and I check into some groups, I answer emails, but that's my own prerogative. That's what I want to do. Because again, I'm someone that loves to work, especially when I'm passionate about something like I am. So I just wanted to do this video to share my story with you, and then I'll also let you know one other piece. I'm sorry it is going so long, so thank you so much for hanging in here if you're still listening in. A lot of coaches, and just no matter what network marketing that you do, you always hear us talk about our why, like our deep down core why. Why do we want to make this work? Why do we want to be successful? For the majority of the people, it's a financial thing. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This network marketing opens the door for unlimited financial possibilities, unlike any other corporate job. There is no corporate job that I could be in right now that I can give myself a raise based on how hard that I work. And that's exactly what I do. If I know that I'm slacking in my business and my income, each week is just kind of plateauing and not growing, I know what I need to do. I mean, I can literally see my income skyrocket, within hundreds of dollars within a week time span, just based on the activity that I do and who I motivate and the team members that I'm working with, etc. So when you hear these coaches talk about their deep down why, and this might be your why too, it's that financial aspect. Maybe you're a single parent. Maybe you're working in a job that is just not paying enough. Like, you're working hard and it's barely paying the bills. A really good friend of mine just had to move out of town because her husband was working 2 jobs and it still wasn't paying the bills. So I don't like to see people in those situations. I am very fortunate. I know how fortunate that I am that my husband does very well in his organization, that if I didn't have to do this business, if I were to quit tomorrow, we would absolutely be okay. But the fact of the matter is, my why is my passion. I live and breathe Beachbody because it helps me. It helps me stay accountable to my weight loss. It helps me just feel good about myself. If I was any heavier, I have this thing about image, not body image. It's just I want to look a certain way. I feel my best when my body is at a certain weight and a certain strength. Like, I don't like to be super skinny. I mean, that happened to me during this whole journey as well. I actually, if you ever look at the infomercial that I was in, yeah, I was in an infomercial. See, Beachbody opens up many opportunities for you. I look back at that and I go, gosh, yeah, I was skinny and I had some abs, but I felt so weak. That was not who I wanted to be. I mean, I have this other image of where I want to go with everything. So when I say that Beachbody, I live and I breathe it, it not only helps me with my physical, it helps keep me healthy. It has given the best example to my kids. I mean, my oldest, obviously she started being around the Beachbody stuff when she was about 4 or 5 years old. My youngest, it's all she's ever known. See, she likes to photobomb my videos. She is the healthiest child that I know. Literally the healthiest child that I know. This child will walk around the house eating broccoli and tomatoes. You try to offer her Pop-Tarts and ice cream, no thanks. Every time we go to a restaurant and order something, the first question out of her mouth is this healthy? And it's not because I sit there and go, you can't eat that. I mean, she just had McDonald's yesterday. I mean, we do have our balance, right? She loves McDonald's chicken nuggets, but she doesn't eat the fries. Who doesn't eat McDonald's fries? My kid. So anyways, keeping myself accountable, being the best example to my children, and then also, this has given me just that sense of pride. I own this. This is my business. I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm a business owner. I will never go back to working for the man, right? I won't ever be back in a corporate office, which in 10 years you might be pulling this video up at one of my, work parties or whatever. But as long as Beachbody stays and doesn't go away, this is my life. This is where I have decided to settle, plant my roots, and just grow. Because the fact is, I get to go on stage in front of hundreds of people and do live events. I love that. I love being social. I love public speaking. And, this just opens up that door. It also allows me to network with other people. It allows me leadership skills. I mean, I have a team of 2,600 people. Not that all of them report to me, or no one reports to me, it's our own business, but it's not like they're all my personally sponsored coaches, but I open myself up to my entire downline. So in my mind, I have 2,600 coaches on my team that I work with because I'm available to all of them. So it gives me leadership skills. I have learned more software application in the last couple of years than I ever did even working at Cisco, which if you're familiar with Cisco, that's like a #1 technology company, right? So just as far as Google and Streak and OneNote and all these different apps and platforms, would I have learned all this had I been working a desk job? Maybe, maybe not. I can't say where it would go. But the fact of the matter is that I get to learn new things all the time. Every time I get on a call with someone, I'm learning about a new tracking system or a new tool or a new system or a new process. And it's just super amazing. My brain is always on overload. And I love that because if I'm resting or not working, I feel like I'm just getting old and dying. I wake up every single day with the purpose of wanting to make this business and the people that I work with so successful. Do I want to be successful? Yes, I do. But in my mind, I'm already successful. I have everything I've ever wanted. Do I want a different house? Sure. Those are material things. But in life, I have everything I want. I have no complaints. I've got plenty of money in the bank. I've got plenty of food on the table. I drive the car I want to drive. My kids are healthy and happy, and we've got balance, and my marriage is back on this amazing track, and my relationship is flourishing, yada, yada. I don't need anything anymore. What I want to do is I want to help all of you. I want to help my team members. So my passion actually comes from truly helping people. And I know that that's what they say that Beachbody is about, but I love to help people. I am not one of those girls that when, someone advances in rank or, they earn this much money, I'm not talking behind their back going, oh, yeah, she didn't deserve that. I am the first one to congratulate you, to high five you, to get so super excited for you, because that's what I would want back from me, right? So my whole thing is I love to empower others. So you guys, I totally went off on a tangent here, but I wanted to tell you my story, just kind of where I started from, how I got started with Beachbody, where we are 5 years now, and why I still keep doing this business. It's a lot like recruiting. I mean, my business is recruiting. It's networking with other people whose lives I can change. Networking with the people that can benefit from either our products or the coaching opportunity. And if you've ever looked at anything I've ever posted and thought that's not me, I can't do it, or you had a bad taste in your mouth, oh, it's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, I am the most realist, down-to-earth person ever, and I have never been caught up in anything that wasn't honest, that wouldn't show true integrity, etc. So I wouldn't do this business, and I wouldn't for sure be in it for 5 years down the road if it wasn't 100% legit. So if you're sitting there, whether your why is that financial reason, that you can't pay your bills this month, you can't pay for childcare, you can't pay for your children's medication, you can't pay for your school loans, whatever that it is, or maybe you're someone like me who it's not a financial thing, you just love what you do, you want to be passionate about something, you want to make a difference. That's me. I want to make a difference, and I like my name in the spotlight. I'm a product of accountability, but I'm also a product of recognition. And for Beachbody, when you see your name on a board or on, a corporate call or, in a newsletter, I get off on that kind of stuff. I love that kind of stuff. It's not why I do this business, but that's definitely one of the perks. Because I know at other jobs before, you might get, good job, on that or whatever, but I can't think of a certain time where I was singled out and highlighted and recognized prior to becoming a Beachbody coach. I mean, we recognize you guys for the smallest things. I mean, you took a 5-pound poop and woohoo, yay for Shakeology and good job, right? I mean, I've never been so excited about poop before since becoming a Beachbody coach. So anyways, video is totally going way longer than I thought. So again, if you've listened this far, obviously there's something that is interesting to you about this opportunity, or you just like saying me, I don't know. But think about it. Think about how this can change you. Think about how it can change your life. If you're struggling with staying consistent with your workouts, if you are going through those yo-yo diets, use Beachbody as an accountability tool. If you're struggling with making ends meet, use Body as a financial tool to gain finances. If you're struggling personally, and this is a huge one, I haven't even mentioned this, going through a divorce, deaths in the family, just, other things, like I could just, seriously, so many things are popping in my head right now of reasons why people tell me they can't do this, like, oh, I'm going through this, or I've got this vacation, or, again, using the divorce name and going through divorce, this is exactly the reason why you need to be doing Beachbody. And I can't talk for other multi-level marketing companies, but with Beachbody, we're all about empowerment and belief and personal development. I was going through a separation myself about 1.5 years ago. Fortunately, again, my husband and I, we're good. We're solid now. But for 6 months when he moved out of the house, I was devastated. My Beachbody family is the family that pulled through. More than my own family and a lot of even my friends, which a lot of my friends are my Beachbody family, so it kind of crosses over. But I honestly can say I don't know how I would have made it through had I not been a Beachbody coach. People helped me pull through with my goals. I mean, when I sat there in front of my computer and I didn't want to do nothing, seriously nothing. I didn't want to type a single post. I didn't want to do anything. People pulled through. People came to my house. People helped me work. People bought challenge packs from me so I would hit my goals, and they didn't even need Shakeology or programs. It's probably still sitting like on their counter in a box, and I feel bad. But Beachbody has just emotionally, physically, financially, mentally, 100% across all those boards fulfills me in a way that I never could have thought or imagined. So I thank God. I honestly should reach out to my girlfriend more often that brought me into this business, even though she's not doing it anymore, and just thank her. Because if you decide to become a coach, you are going to realize, you are always going to remember that day that it changed your life. And you're always going to remember the people who invited you in. I mean, I was just on a call again 2 days ago where there was a girl who is a superstar diamond coach, not 15 star, but multiple star diamond coach, making well more than over 6 figures, and never, ever thought that she would ever be doing this type of job in her life. And she says, had my girlfriend not reached out to me and constantly presented the opportunity to me over and over and over again, I would not be here today. And so if you're someone that I've reached out to and said, hey, I think you'd make an amazing coach, it's because I believe in you and I see something in you that you might not even see yourself. You might already be thinking, I would make a rock star coach. If you already have that attitude, then let's talk and let's get you going sooner than later. Because if you already believe that you can do it, that's the biggest hurdle that you have to get over. Everything else is easy peasy, and I can show you the rest. All right, you guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this very lengthy message. I hope my story inspired you in some way. Have a great day.